Hey, friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
And welcome back to Steve and Larson's Pro Wrestling Podcast, ruining pro wrestling podcasting since 2014. On today's episode, it's jam-packed. We've got some injury updates from the weekend, and of course, we've got our big reviews for Saturday night's main event and WWE Evolution, which in my opinion, Larson, it might be. I think it's got consideration for WWE PLE of the year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was going back through them in my mind earlier, and I was like, hasn't been a strong year for premium live events, but Evolution was a wildly fun show.
It was a fantastic show. Before we get to our reviews of the WWE shows over the weekend, save for Great American Bash, which we may talk about on Wednesday. I don't know. It's time to watch it. We'll see. Yeah. Let's talk the news. First and foremost in the news, Seth Rollins seemingly appeared to suffer a significant knee injury during his match with LA Knight. Saturday night's main event cut the match short. LA Knight got a surprising win. Regarding Seth's injury, Fightful Select reports that Seth was seen backstage on crutches wearing a knee brace following the match. And they were told that Seth's injury, quote, looked bad backstage. Now let's go to Wrestling Observer. Brian Alvarez reported the following, quote, Seth is injured, appears to be serious. The last 40 minutes of the show were changed on the fly, and there was something that was supposed to happen later that didn't as a result of the injury. Alvarez then said of the situation, quote, in storyline, Seth has until next June to cash in, so conceivably, even with surgery and a long-term recovery, he could return before then. Well, then on radio, Alvarez and Meltzer had this conversation about whether this whole injury thing was actually a work. So, start with Alvarez. He says, I was told it was legitimate. There are people that would be very upset if they found out it wasn't legitimate, and I guess there are some people who are skeptical. Dave responded like this, quote, someone who I 100% trust told me, don't go strong on the idea that it's real at all, because they pretty much heard about it on Thursday. So I don't know. I mean, everyone thinks that it's real. I don't want to say more. Everyone's going with the idea it's real. It's only one person who told me that, but it was someone to warn me. So who the hell knows? We'll see. They were pretty detailed in description. So there's more here on radio. These transcripts come to you from WrestlingNews.co. Meltzer said Levesque said he's getting examined in Birmingham tomorrow. That's where Dr. James Andrews, noted orthopedic surgeon, does his business. And John Pollock on his show said the whole scenario had been told a couple days earlier. I think it was Thursday that they were going to do this angle, and it was exactly what he was told. Everyone is insisting that, it was legit, that he's injured. It was a knee injury. I tried to get confirmation from someone if John Pollock was mistaken, and they would not say that, so I could say that much. So then Alvarez, he posited a theory, which was, quote, the reason these stories are conflicting is because he is hurt. But what happened on Saturday was a storyline, meaning he is hurt, but he did not get hurt on that spot. The spot was a cover for an injury that he has, which he will have worked on. The idea that it was suggested that he will be out of action for a little while, but they're going to say like 9 months or whatever. They'll give this whole thing, but he will be back much sooner than that. So let's take a break here before we get some more.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot to digest.
Yeah, and I feel like we probably should have avoided that buffet altogether. Because, no, look, it's good for... We talk about what the general wrestling crowd is talking about, and these are prominent names in our sphere that are claiming that, this is an injury, this is a work, this is a fake injury to cover a real injury. I didn't understand the Pollock thing. So was John Pollock on his own show saying that on Thursday that they're going to do an injury angle there?
So I didn't listen to the clip, but on one of Post Wrestling's podcasts, John Pollock apparently mentioned that he had heard Thursday that there was an injury angle planned for Seth's match on Saturday.
Okay, and then it was revealed on the Evolution show that tonight on Raw we're going to get a gauntlet match to determine who's going to take on Gunther at SummerSlam. I think it's Punk, Penta, LA Knight, Braun Breaker, and there's like one more person. I think it's like a 5-way.
Yeah, there's 5 people in the
deal there.
Yeah.
I know I'm missing somebody obvious.
Yeah, but Punk's going to win.
You think it's going to be Punk versus Gunther?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
What do you think? Look? I don't know. WWE has gotten pretty decent at. Let me say this, just from not talking about any of this. Is it real? Is it fake shit? I mean, I kind of am, but just in a broad sense, WWE, they have no problem working the sheets or however you want to refer to it. Putting misinformation out there, backstage, doing things that they know is going to be reported on, and then it is. Drew McIntyre walking out in anger over CM Punk being hired because, he wasn't told that he was going to be there, and then he goes on to have a feud of the year with the guy. It's like, come on. I think the guy is probably doing a pretty good job putting up a facade backstage for the dirt sheets, I guess, because, Sean always has shit going on. This is backstage. This is the internal rundown right there. So WWE they've always played, and I mean, this dates back decades. They've always played the wrestling journalism game. My thing is this: what we see on television, if it looks so weird that you're thinking, oh boy, this probably isn't good. Having Seth get up. Here's the thing: the finish to that match was so out of nowhere, and I just don't think they're going to do a thing where, Seth Rollins, he looks real injured, and then he just stands up and takes a finisher from LA Knight with zero drama to end the match. I don't think that, to me, that doesn't pass the smell test. It was a shit finish. If this was a scripted finish, that's a horrible finish to end your match with, and it would be like a Vince Russo type thing where it's like you're just trying. You're not playing to the live audience. You're playing to the 15% of us who are like, oh, wow, he seems really injured there. I don't believe that I don't think they're playing to that audience, man. I think they're playing to the live crowd and to the people who are bringing their kids and the 1.5 million who are watching, on Netflix or whatever the Raw numbers are, 2.5 million on Netflix or whatever. That's the audience they play to, and this finish was not for that.
As much as I would like to think that Seth Rollins is going to show up a la Kevin Nash on Nitro in a wheelchair at SummerSlam during Gunther versus Punk, only to remove the blanket from his legs and to find out he's not injured at all.
And it was a fake leg.
I would pop huge for that. This happened on a network special with the idea this is going to be available to the largest possible audience they can maybe get right now. This is not the type of finish you do on that type of show. This is like buried in the second hour of Raw type thing, if you do it at all. The clunky, awkward nature. See, but there's enough. Here's the thing, too. There's enough in the finish because I didn't notice anybody throw up the X. It's not uncommon for an injury to happen during the match, and they just call the match off.
Haven't they? Let me ask you this. To your
knowledge, it would have to be Seth saying, no, I'm going to be. This is how I interpret what happened. Seth realized, having had 2 significant knee injuries before, something bad just happened. Now we can either call off the match, or I can give LA Knight the rub, says I'm going to be out for 6 or 8 months.
Well, also, let me interject to that point specifically, and I'm sure you got more. To that point specifically, it's also like, this is a simulated fight. If somebody in a real fight, Larson, if somebody can't go on because they're injured, what's the outcome of that match? They usually lose. Thank you. Yes, it's not waived. It's not called off. And so I know in pro wrestling, in pro wrestling they can.
Well, now MMA too. If someone's hurt, they call the fight off, and then whoever isn't hurt wins.
But dude, if this is supposed to be a real fight, then Seth Rollins if he made the call, he made the right one. The other guy's going to win, so you can either just be like, no, and this guy wins, or you can do what you do in pro wrestling, which is eat the finish and then you lose. I mean, I think that this is just Seth understanding, hey, pro wrestling, we're on network, we need a finish here. And what you said is absolutely right. I think, or makes sense rather. My knee's busted. I'm gonna be out for a long time. Let's give this guy, let's set this up. This is the best thing we can do, because either way, LA Knight's going to walk away. Somebody's going to walk away from this match. He sat there and talked for like 2 minutes or a minute.
Yeah,
maybe.
there was a lengthy conversation that involved himself, Paul Heyman, the referee, and a member of the medical team.
Yeah, right.
And I imagine part of that too is both the ref and I would guess whoever the ringside doctor was has earpieces in, and therefore can communicate backstage, and they can all talk together to figure out how to proceed with this.
I was going to ask you about the X thing.
Yeah.
Have they used the X as a work in recent memory? I didn't know if this is going to be one of those things where you're like, yes, exactly. You would know on the spot or not. But.
I don't know on the spot. I feel like they have, and I'm sure chat will let us know. But I feel like there was at least one instance within the last 3 years where they threw up the X, but it was a work thing.
Isn't the X kind of an antiquated thing when, as you said, everybody's talking? Hey, he's down for good. What do we do? Hey, he's saying this. Hey, he's communicating this. What do we do? What's the point of this? Unless it's like immediately, let's get people out there. But there's already people at ringside.
But back in the day, I think before maybe there was such a easy through line for communication. Sure, yeah. That was an easy way. You throw the X up, the camera backstage knows, all right, something's wrong. Let's address this right away. And
I wonder if there are situations in a match where the X makes sense. Like, oh, this guy's laid out. Let's get people out there. If they can't communicate, maybe the X is like, hey. But I mean, they're just right there. It's like, hey,
maybe it's
X.
a situation with the X. It's like, all right, this, say someone, obviously the situation here, Seth hurts his knee.
Mm-hmm.
To which degree they don't know. So maybe some conversation is necessary to see, all right, it's just a tweak. I think I could finish the match, or no, this is busted up. I'm done.
Yeah.
Whereas if someone breaks their arm, well, that's pretty obvious. They ain't finishing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like with Zoe Stark, where she obviously tore up her knee. All right.
Did they throw up the X for Zoe?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't think that. It's been a while since I've noticed an X when there's been like a couple injuries.
Someone gets knocked out.
Yeah.
Throw up the X, because obviously they should not be finishing that match.
I just wonder if these days just everybody's so savvy to the X and they just don't want to break the storyline.
That could be.
And Seth is like, don't throw up the X. I'm going to just take this BFT because I can do that really quick.
Yeah.
And but I don't know. You and I were not there. We don't know the actual situation. Exactly. Until I know otherwise, I'm going to assume that this is real, simply because like it was a shit finish to the match, and if they tried to do a work shoot finish, I don't think that they're that crap. You can say some of WWE stuff is boring, but I don't think they're going to go overboard doing like a Vince Russo finish. That'd be horrible.
You wouldn't think so.
This dude better be gone for a long time, Larson.
Yeah. I mean, my assumption is going to be, until proven otherwise, unfortunately, yes, Seth suffered an injury during that match. It's one of those spots where he, it was a moonsault, springboard moonsault, like a lion salt. LA Knight evades, Seth lands on his feet. And not to say you can't significantly injure a joint or anything based on impact alone, but there wasn't an obvious buckle. Like when he tore up his knee in that match against Kane, you saw that knee buckle.
Well, on social media, because he did two of them. And on the first one,
he kind of acted like he was shaking the leg out a little bit, yeah.
He landed, like, they did like a slow-mo replay of it, where his sort of leg, you could tell the knee looked like it might have got messed up on that first one because, like, of the way it sort of buckled underneath him. Like, he landed, so, like, if this is his foot, it was like this, but, like, it was sort of under, how you get, like, it sort of gets caught underneath you. And it looked like there might have been some pretty nasty impact, to the knee as it pertains to it sort of, the joint twisting.
The last time he hurt his knee leading up to WrestleMania 40, it was on a moonsault spot like that too, where he just landed. Where he
lands it, yeah, exactly. And then he gets up, and you can sort of see, yeah, like you said, he's sort of shaking it out. He does another one. It's like, oh, and then he knows he's done. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, dude. I mean, let's pivot to. Well, let's do this. We've got a couple of sponsors for the show today, but I'd like to pivot to how this affects the storyline, given that Seth Rollins was a huge part,
Yeah.
obviously,
Yeah.
of the rest of this year and probably heading into WrestleMania next year.
Well, here,
so
let's
we
get
can talk about
before
that.
we get to that conversation. There's a couple more quotes here. Let's get through this, and then we'll talk about if Seth is going to be absent for a while, how much that's going to affect what we see on TV. So, real quick, during the Evolution post-show, Triple H said this about Seth's injury. Quote, a little bit inconclusive, doesn't look good. He'll be in Birmingham tomorrow. It's today. He came here tonight. He was not going to miss his wife's performance tonight. We'll get an MRI and hope for the best. See where we go after that. And then PW Insider reported today regarding Seth's injury, quote, the belief among those within WWE is that they will have a diagnosis of the severity of Seth Rollins' injury within the next few days. Rollins was on crutches last night at WWE Evolution, sporting a big knee brace. There is a lot of fear of a major injury, but nothing has been confirmed yet to the best of our knowledge. They conclude with this. For those who have asked about reports, this is all some sort of work. It is not. And anyone claiming such is being completely disrespectful to Rollins at this point. As we reported previously, this is not a work. There was no planned cash-in at Saturday night's main event, etc.
Yeah, that was another thing that I saw, especially on Reddit, was people saying, "Oh man, no, there was going to be a cash-in, and there was never going to be a cash-in at Saturday night's main event. There was an Evolution, which was awesome. We're going to talk about that here in a moment, But yeah, look, man, I'm not gonna say that Dave Meltzer's being disrespectful to the idea. If his person told him that, oh yeah, we found there's gonna be an injury angle on Thursday, I don't know, maybe they're gonna write LA Knight off with 6 tsunamis or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, Dave's gonna talk about the people that talk to him, and that's been his job for 60, 70 years now.
Yeah.
And that's sort of what he does. But yeah, if it's a work, I'd be super shocked. I'd actually be pretty shocked if this was a work. I would be, because that finish was that would be horrible if he shows up tonight. He's like, hey, I'm good. Okay, what was the point of that?
Well, what if the idea is that he's hurt, not with that injury, and so that was done to cover the other injury?
Yeah, I mean, how long would that keep him out? It's all weird. I mean, that doesn't make any sense
either.
Doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any
anyways,
sense.
Let's go ahead and talk about these sponsors here, Larson.
Let's do it. Let's take a break, get a word from our sponsor, Delete Me, Steve.
Yes.
Every day when I'm looking on the headlines of the news, I see a story or two about data breaches or regulatory rollbacks making us all vulnerable.
Yeah, man, it's maddening. It's maddening, I tell you, but you can do something about it. Delete Me is here to make it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online.
As you know, Steve, privacy is a huge deal for me, and it drives me absolutely crazy whenever I get a letter in the mail saying that my personal data has been breached and is just floating out there on the internet. Thankfully, Delete Me is here to help. It does all the hard work of wiping that personal information from data broker websites, and it's not just a one-time service. Delete Me is constantly working for you, monitoring and removing the personal info that you don't want on the internet. And Delete Me will send you regular privacy reports detailing what info they found, where they found it, and what they removed.
So take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me. Now at a special discount for our listeners, today get 20% off your Delete Me plan by texting RAW to 64000. The only way to get 20% off is to text RAW to 64000. That's RAW to 64000. Message and data rates may apply.
And this episode of Steve and Larson's Pro Wrestling Podcast is sponsored by him, Steve.
Yes.
I'm a huge baseball fan, and when summer comes around, I'm usually rocking a hat of my favorite team.
Yeah, you are. But are you wearing that hat to support your squad, Larson? Or let's be honest, keep it real. You lie to your friends, don't lie to mine. To cover up that thinning hair you got there on your head. I know it's hecka rude. Why would I say that to you? But let me tell you something, man. Hims offers access to a range of prescription treatments that are a home run for hair regrowth, so you can see big league results by the time the season winds down.
Listen to you using baseball terms.
You like the baseball term? Why'd you write me to be so rude to you there, Larson?
I don't know, I just did. Hims offers convenient access to a wide range of doctor-trusted prescription hair loss treatments with ingredients that are clinically proven to work. And it's 100% online, so you can get started from the comfort of your home. You can do it right from your couch. All you got to do is fill out an intake form, and a medical provider will determine if treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your treatment is sent directly to your door for free. So, Steve, you got any more baseball terms you could throw my way and they hear them?
Sure. Don't balk at this opportunity, Larson. Start your free online visit today at hims.com/goinginraw. That's HIMS.com/goinginraw for personalized hair loss treatment options. hims.com/goinginraw. Individual results may vary based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil and finasteride. Prescriptions required. See website for full details, restrictions, and important safety information. Man, had me putting you on blast there. I know what you're doing here, man. I know what you're doing. You're writing me to be a horrible person, hypocrite, talking about your hairline, knowing full well, number one, mine ain't that much better up here, man. Look at that. I got some spots up here. Like I gotta do the comb over here thing. And number two, the comments are gonna be like, man, Steve, what a terrible friend that guy is.
You're a great friend, Steve. You're just keeping it real with me.
That sounds condescending right there. I know your tone, man. I've known you way too long. Anyways, while you drink on your Coupler James there, we're going to give you an update on Adam Cole status. Boy,
oh, do you want to talk about Seth's...
yeah, that's
creative
right.
direction for Seth. So let's assume he's hurt. He's going to be out for, let's say this is a significant knee injury. We don't have to go down to ACL. What exact ligament got torn during the course of all this? Let's say he's out for 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months is a good starter there.
You know, if it's a significant knee injury, we're talking ACL, it's probably longer. If it's a meniscus thing, or what did he tear before Mania 33? It was his MCL, I think.
Yeah.
And that only kept him out for a little bit.
Yeah.
So let's just say 6 months. So let's say maybe they don't have word of the prognosis quite yet tonight, so we don't hear much. Next Monday, I think it'd be great if you got Heyman, you got Braun, you got Bronson coming to the ring again. Heyman's about to talk, and Bronson snatches Braun snatches the mic again. And Braun doesn't necessarily say, hey, I'm taking over, but his actions let you know, I'm taking over this group now. You know, and Heyman still has that Money in the Bank briefcase for Seth, but is Braun going to make a play for it?
Oh, I like that. I actually like that idea. You and I had kind of the same idea. I was thinking that he should actually be much more overt. I do think that, like, with an injury like this, let's say he's going to be out 6 months. Even 6 months is long enough time for Seth to go away, come back to a big babyface response. And I do think that I think that they need to take this opportunity and basically do what they did with Triple H after WrestleMania 14. You know, he got right in the mic and said, HBK dropped the ball and I'm picking it up. Braun Breaker should say, Seth Rollins dropped the ball and I'm picking it up. Because anything else makes him look like, oh, I'm still kind of tentative, I'm waiting. No. He should be a man of action. He sees an opening, he takes it. He's already ready to take this thing. He's taken the whole I'm the face of WWE for the next 2 decades seriously. Why wait? This guy should not. He does not look like a person who is going to sit around and wait for Seth Rollins to come back.
Yep.
He should take action now. I love your idea, though, of Heyman carries the briefcase. And maybe Heyman thinks he's holding it for Seth because Heyman, it's much like Heyman was always loyal to Roman, even in Roman's absence. He wasn't scheming against Roman until he just did.
Yeah.
But he should have that loyalty. Seth has deemed him the Oracle. We've already seen Heyman kind of on sketchy ground with Bronson and Braun, not quite understanding how to, like, rein them in.
Mm-hmm.
So this absolutely should be Heyman's back in kind of that Bloodline 2.0 situation where, not as bad, but, you know, Braun takes over. And maybe we find out in the end when Seth comes back as a babyface that Heyman did pivot to Braun kind of on the down low, and Heyman turns on Seth at that point and is just with Braun. I don't know, but I do think that Braun needs to be man of action, but I love the idea that the case is in kind of a nebulous area. Like, we don't know. Could Braun, and then eventually maybe Braun does cash in, and Heyman kind of functions as his case. He brings Heyman with him who has the case, and he's like, cash in, This now you've got his proxy. Maybe they drop along the way somewhere that Heyman has Seth's power of attorney or some shit like that.
Yeah.
As part of the Oracle contract.
Yeah.
And Braun cashes in with that in a big, another heist of the century type thing. I think that'd be great.
Yeah. 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 I mean, Seth's injury is obviously super unfortunate. It's clear that he was in store for huge things. We're huge Seth Rollins fans here at Stephen Lars's Pro Wrestling Podcast, and hopefully whatever injury he sustained isn't significant, and he won't miss significant time. A lot of times when situation changes for WWE, sometimes they can parlay that into interesting ideas. And if Seth is going to be out for a significant amount of time, I'm curious to see what they do come with, whether it's something like we're talking about, whether it's just kind of a holding pattern. Imagine if not only does Braun kind of take over, he brings in somebody else.
Yeah.
Like a Ricky Saints, perhaps.
Yeah. I think that could be really interesting. I think that I think they had a really great opportunity, and maybe they still will, to do, their Batista Triple H thumbs up, thumbs down moment. But I think now you have an opportunity to just give the damn ball to Braun and make him be the guy. I mean, have him. You can wonk his. However, this gauntlet match is going to. The other guy, by the way, is Jey Uso.
That's right. Yeah.
You can wonk the hell out of this gauntlet match right here. Interesting in the graphic that LA Knight is front and center too.
Yeah, he's front and center.
Punk is sort of back there. But yeah, I think that you gotta push Braun to the fore now, and it's like, God damn, we thought that he was dangerous before, but he was kind of under Seth Rollins, and now this guy is like, oh man, I'm in the Seth spot, but I'm gonna do it my way, and he's just this unhinged, force of nature.
Yeah. Yep.
Or you do what you should do and just push LA Knight.
Could do that too.
Push LA Knight to the very top.
You vacate the briefcase and have another ladder match for it.
Well, that's another option. I mean, we've talked about the one option that you and I kind of, came to, on our own, I guess. But like, that's the other option is vacate Money in the Bank and do it again. Probably still have Braun win it, to be honest with you.
Rather than LA Knight, yeah.
I mean, they should. He's so popular.
Oh, he's wildly popular.
He's so popular.
So popular. Adam Cole. Let's talk Adam Cole now. So, of course, he announced at All In that he was going to be out for a significant period of time, dealing with a health issue. And so, as first reported by Fightful Select and then confirmed by Wrestling Observer, Adam Cole was not medically cleared for All In Texas because he suffered a concussion during his match on last Thursday's Collision. Cole did miss 9 months of action after suffering concussion at Forbidden Door 2002.
Whoa,
Tony
2022.
Sorry, yeah, 2022, sorry. Tony Khan spoke about Cole's condition during the post-All-In media scrum, saying the following. These transcripts come to you from WrestlingNews.co. Somewhere between late last night, early this morning, we talked, and he just wasn't feeling well. And that's the unpredictable nature of some of these kinds of injuries. The right thing to do was for him to vacate the title and just talk to the people.
Yeah. I mean, obviously I think they made the right decision.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that it was what Cole wanted to do. Yeah, this is a massive bummer, but and nothing changes from what we said. The other day at our All In review. Hopefully the guy. I want one thing obviously first and foremost, his health and happiness.
Yep.
But also being a guy who's devoted his life to pro wrestling. Be nice for him to go out on his own terms, like we got to see old Bill Goldberg do at Saturday Night's Main Event. We're going to talk about that in a second here, but yeah, it'd be nice for him to go out on his own terms. It really would be.
It would be.
He's like 36 years old.
Yeah, and he's got a resource there. Everybody's medical situation is different, obviously. He's got a resource there in AEW and Bryan Danielson, who's been through something like this, dealing with concussion issues and finding a way to come back.
Yeah.
And that's a good resource for Adam Cole to have right now if he wants, we don't know what medical advice he's received as of yet, given the nature of what he said at All In. it's obvious either, I mean, it seems kind of short, like a short window to have any significant conversations with neurologists regarding wrestling future, but maybe coming out of his previous concussion back in 2022 was like, you gotta be real careful.
Dude, if you remember on the All Access show, there was some pretty gnarly stuff that was being talked about, and the brain, you don't want to mess with the brain.
No, you don't. You don't.
Especially, I mean, he's only 36,
yeah.
And it's like, he's in wrestling years, he's probably a lot older than that because he's been wrestling for like 17 years, I think now, very long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also assume that his, Twitch crowd and the Chugs army is going to stand behind him as well. And,
absolutely.
And, he's fantastic. So all the best to him.
Absolutely. All the best to him.
Before we continue on with our Evolution recap and our Saturday night's main event recap, we got some business to take care of, some Friendo Club business, Larson, because boy, oh boy, I dropped a big turd in defending my title, unfortunately. So we do have a new champion winning by 2 points over the second place winner, RAF. RAF, or Royal, as you pointed out before we started rolling, Royal Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's like, what the RAF stands for, or if it's just RAF. Maybe it's Raffy. I've heard people with the name
short
Raffy.
For Raphael.
So it could be Raphael. So in any event, RAF, do us a favor. Either send us a message on the Patreon. You can always get a free membership there and send us a DM, or you can email us. We have an email set up now exclusively for the Friendos for contact, friendoclub@gmail.com. You can send us what we need is a picture that you want to use for your Hall of Champions. And I've already started this morning to get that updated. So the Hall of Champions will be updated this week, including I got to figure out which picture I'm going to use for me. And I think I need one for you, for your money, for your, no. I think I already did yours. Did I already do yours? What was your picture that you chose? You remember?
I don't remember, but I thought there was one.
Yeah, it was updated. It was updated for that.
Yeah, because I did it at the beginning of the year, so I would think it'd be updated since then.
All right. Well, we'll see. Because I know I had it updated only till like February or something like that.
Okay, then you would have got mine then, because I went in January.
Yeah, I know I did get yours. I just forget what your thing was.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
In any event. So yeah, Raph, we need a picture for your big blue Hall of Champions image. So we need that. Where is this thing? Now it's just bothering me because I don't know what it is. So that's going on. And then, of course, the August predictions challenge. We've got SummerSlam at the beginning of the month, and then we got Forbidden Door at the end of the month.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything in between?
I don't think so.
Anything else we want to throw in there?
I guess it's entirely possible there's an NXT show in August if we want to consider that.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe we'll do that one. Here we go. Big Blue Predictions title. Let's see what you used. Larson used... Oh, that's right. It's Hangman down on the floor with that funny look on his face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good. So I got to figure out what my picture is going to be for the Backlash one. And then we also have a couple other people. I'll reach out to them. And I finally came up with, this is what Raph, there's a couple more things. This is what Raph is going to win. So I came up with this design yesterday. And again, I think it's a really big deal that Raph dethroned me because I'm only one of two people on this show that's on the camera all the time. And it's this. It's an I dethrone Steve here shirt and hat combo. I'll be honest with you. I love the design of this. I made it. I think it's great. It's also, a big deal that Raph, and it's a what's it called? A raglan, the shirt.
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah, and then
how come there wasn't a deal made when I won and then someone dethroned me? Just like another day.
Because, it's like
Oh, it's because that was like the third time I've actually won something in predictions. That's what it was, right?
I mean, it's like well, wait a second. You won. Had you won? I
won an advantage thing. Got bonus points.
Yeah, but you can't be dethroned for an advantage.
Let me finish. I won the G1 predictions.
I don't think you can be dethroned for that.
and then I actually won a predictions challenge. I didn't
You
say I
could be
won 3
dethroned for
predictions
that one.
challenges. I said I had won 3 things. This is your first win.
Well, here's my thing. You didn't say anything. You didn't say, "Oh, it'd be a big deal for me." It's kind of a big deal to dethrone me. On top of that, I was champion longer than you were in sheer number of days.
That's just how the calendar fell, honestly.
Yeah, but that's how. Still, whatever the reason is, how many days were you champion? Like 30, maybe?
Yeah, maybe 30, 20 something. I don't know.
It was like 45, 50, something like that. I mean, it's a lot longer.
Wow, great for you.
I know, right? It is great for me, and it's great for Raph because he gets this awesome hat shirt combo, which I think Larson's just a little bit jealous that he didn't get this, because I think he'd love to wear a hat that says "I dethroned Steve" here, out to the brewery.
It'd be right next. It'd be right next to this one here.
Mm-hmm. Just sitting there, huh?
Yeah.
There's that, and then of course Jack Showtime. Raph's time as champion might be devastatingly short.
Could be,
because Jack Showtime now has an opportunity to cash in. I have to get like a direct line to Jack Showtime, because by the end of today, we're gonna keep. Here's the thing: we're gonna keep his window post show open for like 48 hours or whatever.
that seems fair. Yeah.
We're gonna give him an opportunity if he wants to cash in, and I'll give him all the options for cashing in. We'll give him the opportunity to cash in on Raph if Jack wants to. I got to get a line open to Jack, though. I don't know what he's on.
Need to work that out, yeah.
So yeah, there's that. But some of the ideas in the cash in now are a guaranteed win, a failed cash in, 10 points extra, 20 points extra.
Mm-hmm.
So,
memory serves, Jack Showtime was quite a bit back, so it would need to be an automatic win or a substantial point value for Jack to get the win.
I gotta find those options. I really like those options that I came up with.
Yeah, they were good.
They were good. And then what else we got going on here? Members. And then we announced this on the live stream, but it sort of got buried in the thing. 2 other things. Number 1, we are going to go back to doing live review stuff, because we used to do that live for everybody. We are going to change it a little bit, though. We are going to make it exclusive to channel to the Friendo Club setup members. So what we're going to do is, if you're a channel member or a patron at $5 and up, then you'll get access to our review live as we do it. And then everybody else, as normal, it'll go up the way it's been going up now for a couple months as a VOD. There's several reasons that we're doing it this way. Full transparency from a business standpoint, when we do it live for everybody, because we weren't running ads live for everybody. You're losing out on revenue for the first couple thousand views, which as a business is just bad business. Number 2, there were my internet issues. That sort of spurred the entire thing of doing it on VOD. It was just, I don't know what the deal is. We had another dropout, largely because I think the restream thing the other day during the All In watch along. Granted, it was a 6-hour watch along, but there's that as well, and we don't want to mess with that. The quality on the VODs is actually legitimately better because Larson gets to send in his raw local audio. So there's a variety of reasons, but obviously we're here to make money, so that's one of them. Just being real with you guys.
Yep.
But yeah, so also that's going to apply to Twitch subs as well. We're going to go back to Twitch. We're going to give it to Twitch subs as well.
Yep.
And then, so that's the business taken care of.
All right, let's talk about Evolution, Saturday night's main event. I suggest we talk about the good WWE show that happened over the last weekend, which would be Evolution.
That would be correct. Yes, that would be correct.
Because there's actually really good wrestling. Things happen. Storyline development.
And we had a heist of the century.
We did.
It was very much mimicking the Seth Rollins 2015 cash-in, because earlier in the show, Naomi lost to Jade Cargill in a really terrific no-holds-barred match.
That was fun.
Which ended with Naomi taking a top rope jaded, or a avalanche jaded, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, through the table.
Through a table with Bianca Belair as a special guest ref. And then later in the show, you and I are sitting here like, I don't know. Io hasn't had a title defense since Mania. And you're like, Rhea Ripley closing the show in a big moment. I thought both were pretty legitimate reasons for why each competitor could win this match. They went outside of the ringside area, did a couple of big moves out there, came back in. Naomi sees all the damaged competitors in the ring, cashed in, bashed Io in the head, posted Rhea, and then did her finish to get the win. And as your new women's world champion, not cashing in on. But could you imagine if at SummerSlam Jade comes out champion, meanwhile Naomi is champion at SummerSlam?
It's a distinct possibility because, leading up to Evolution, Naomi's thing is, I'm going to deny Jade her championship. She said that a few times. And I still wouldn't be surprised if she tries to get involved at SummerSlam to deny Jade her opportunity to win that title from Tiffany. I wouldn't be surprised. It dramatically alters the landscape of how I think both of us thought things were going to go down heading into Mania next year. Because the assumption I think we both had is going to be Bianca and Rhea one-on-one. Let's say that's still not the case, and we don't know if there's going to be a draft, how that's going to impact who's going where. But, with Bianca, Naomi, and Jade all on SmackDown, I kind of thought that would be the title picture going into the summer and heading into the fall to early next year. Whereas Rhea at some point would beat Io. And, either Rhea or Bianca wins Rumble or Chamber, and, whoever isn't the champion wins that, and then faces whoever has the title at Mania. Now I don't know. I mean, it's a distinct possibility we still get Bianca, Rhea, but it's entirely possible too that we maybe get Bianca, Jade, Naomi at some point, maybe at a WrestleMania thing. Maybe their WB is thinks so highly of what Naomi has done as a heel, because it's been awesome, that they're like, all right, we can do Rhea versus Bianca kind of whenever. This is a hot story right now. Naomi's doing great work. Let's give her a good run in a prominent WrestleMania match to showcase this character.
I think you nailed it in terms of I think there's two things that might have happened over the past couple months. Jade's since the beginning of the year anyways. Jade's return and how she has been in singles matches, and more often than not, she's performed pretty damn well in them. And her ability to be a single star without sort of the crutch of a tag team, combined with what you said exactly right, Naomi's full embrace and success as a bad guy, just eating this role up and doing a terrific job, I think might have done exactly what you're saying. I think that they probably looked and said, hey, you know what, Mania, we're penciling in Rhea versus Bianca. That's a big match. But understanding now the history that you have with the big three, how do you not make that your night one main event? How do you not do that? Mm-hmm. I'll be honest with the landscape of, I know Cody is like always going to be slated into that night two main event. Who do you think? Hey, just a quick aside. Who do you think Cody has night two?
I wouldn't have been surprised if the night two main event for next year was penciled in to be Punk versus Seth for the title. Mm-hmm.
No Cody in the Cody in like night one or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know, because assuming Cody beats Cena at SummerSlam, he gets the title back. I mean, what could be the most prominent world title feud for him at WrestleMania? Drew?
Yeah. It's funny, dude. Tell me if I'm wrong, but like nothing that they could have for Cody, unless it's The Rock, has nearly as much intrigue as the big three main event. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. To my eyes, looking at that, I'm like, man, that right there has the potential for just not only that you got the historical implication, but just the actual story the actual story of those three women, because now you also have to do whatever the dynamic is between Bianca and Jade, and how do you get them so there's real heat there?
Yeah, because they haven't really explored that a bunch.
They haven't.
It was largely, I thought that they would start getting into it during the match at Evolution, and it really was not explored whatsoever.
But you have three very distinct characters with room for story between two of them that you haven't explored. But you got Jade, who is a superhero. Naomi is a super villain. And then you got one of their biggest stars in Bianca Belair. I mean, dude, the story right there, you can craft a music video out of that. That'll just give you chills heading into night 2 main event. That's what they should be doing. But, you know, it's WWE. Cody's the guy. And so that's probably going to be your night 2. But I mean, Cody Punk is that's probably maybe what they could aim for.
Yeah, maybe. But
you think Punk's going to be he's the Raw guy, you know, or he's the world title guy.
Yeah. And if Seth were to get it before Mania, it makes all the sense to revisit that story.
Yeah.
And for Punk to challenge for the title against Seth. It'd make all the sense for that to happen.
But if they bring, and I'll get some shit for this because I know people liked it, but if they try to bring some Punk Life type shit to night 2, get out of here with that.
Yeah.
Don't do that corny shit.
No, don't do the corny stuff.
I don't know that there's a story out there like that sort of has history and lore behind it. Like, dude, they had Drew McIntyre pairing up with Logan Paul. Now you have to dig up Drew McIntyre from this shit.
I know.
From a celebrity match.
I know. But maybe that's not a concern because WWE assumes most wrestling fans don't care about that. They don't care about positioning on the card. You know, it takes one story and a couple good matches, and Drew main eventer again. Yeah. So maybe it's just people like us that talk about this and debate that kind of stuff.
Well, maybe if you pay attention to our comments, you could absolutely be right about that. And yeah, it does. It takes one good segment to unbury a guy. We've seen that. We've seen that with the New Day, one great segment, and then they're, irrelevant, and they don't even have to do anything with them for months after that. As we've seen.
You're not exactly describing a formula to get somebody back up in prominent position, Steve.
You're not thinking hard enough. Yeah, so Naomi is now our women's world champion. I thought that was I marked out so big because I heard music happen and I'm not and like I guess the volume wasn't up enough. I just had it on my monitor over here while I was doing some work and I was like, wait a second, who is it? And my whether it's I'm on Netflix using a VPN or I'm on Peacock, for some reason and it's not even my download speeds are decent. It's just pixelated as fuck. And so I'm like, I don't even know I was like, oh shit, it's a cash in for this title? This one right now.
Completely unexpected.
Damn. Yeah, that was wild. It was awesome. I popped big for it. So love to see Naomi. And yeah, they got some options. They definitely got some options, but I'm looking forward to this big 3 story. I think it's gonna be awesome.
Yep, I hope that's the direction they're going for sure. All in all, I mean, there wasn't a bad match on the card. There was 2 spectacular matches, bookended by 2 really awesome matches. The Battle Royal was fun. You mentioned Jade versus Naomi was fantastic. I mean, we had an easy contention for WWE PLE of the year.
Yeah, I was trying to go back in the old memory banks, which are rusty as hell.
Yeah, me too.
If I recall, Chamber this year was pretty good. You had a good women's Chamber. We had the Jade Naomi stuff.
I mean, obviously, yeah, there's huge moments. Yeah,
there are big
Jade
moments
Naomi
there.
stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, Cena turning heel.
Both Chamber matches were good.
Yeah.
I don't know what else happened there, but I'm sure there was other good stuff. But yeah, all in all, this stood out as God damn, this is dude, Trish Stratus. Oh my God. Putting in that performance. She doesn't wrestle that often.
Nope.
It's crazy. Yeah, no, that was awesome. We also had a heel turn. Blake Monroe turned on Jordan Grace, and then her situation with JC Jane kind of nebulous a little bit.
Yeah.
Did that surprise you to see the?
No, I mean
heel
there was some reports that they were planning a heel turn for her. So when it happened, I'm like, okay, I guess the reports were accurate. Yeah, it was in terms of. I guess based on what we've seen on TV, I would assume it's a situation where Blake doesn't want anybody to beat JC but her. But then Blake is the one that pinned JC at Great American Bash. But that could just be used as motivation. I pinned you, now I get a title match. I don't want anybody getting that title off you except me.
Her body language and whatnot. Like, she just got there.
Yeah.
Her body language and whatnot. Because you're right, that could totally be motivation. That's the first thing I thought as well when she hit Jordynne Grace. Nobody's going to pin her except for me. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll just see.
Because she actively took out Fallon and Jasmine during the match, too.
Right, yeah.
So it's not like she's looking to be aligned with Fatal Influence, you would think.
Would that... Okay, so it's just like in the short term. I mean, it's just a matter of like characters being characters, and like JC Jane can keep on being a heel, and Blake Monroe can be a heel now, and she can out heel JC Jane.
I guess.
Is that the situation?
I would imagine that Blake's not going to get into a title program with JC right away because she's going to be in a program with Jordynne Grace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In the more immediate future.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be my guess.
Yeah. You still think they're going to wonk that TNA title finish?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I could see that.
You have Blake show up there, and again, no one beats JC but me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah. Could be.
Let's jump into it because there's a lot of good stuff to talk about here. Stephanie McMahon, on Saturday night's main event, they have Joe Tessitore at the desk. Not the announce table, that little desk podium thing they have out in the crowd. Well,
it's like Stephanie McMahon they got going on there.
Yeah, Stephanie McMahon joined Joe Tessitore there at Evolution, kind of opened the show, talking about some of the matches. First match was Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch for the Intercontinental title. This and the Young Bucks versus Swerve and Ospreay tag match were the two best wrestled, from a purely wrestling technical standpoint, the two best wrestled matches of the weekend. You can't find a fault in terms of the quality of the wrestling in this match. It was so good in that finish. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody do that before.
That was the smoothest, like, backslide thing that I've ever seen. Yeah.
And it wasn't just the standard backslide. She had, like, leapt towards Bayley, spun midair, got in backslide position, and then spun again. It was nuts.
Yeah, it was awesome.
The timing and all the false finishes was, like, just about perfect.
Yeah.
Everything was executed nearly perfectly.
Yeah.
The pace was great. The drama was great. There was tension throughout. It was just such a good match.
It was very good. It was very, very good. Yeah. Yeah, I love this match. Of course, Becky Lynch got the win here, but all the character dynamics during this match were really, really great as well. I think they've done such a terrific job with Bayley and Lyra and developing their dynamic. And then you got Becky Lynch out there trying to figure out how to take advantage of that, which she was able to do with this. Yeah, really terrific. Because like Bayley's getting the pin on Lyra after a rose plant. And Becky comes flying through with the smoothest backslide you ever see to get the win there. Then we had Jordynne Grace versus JC Jane. It shows earlier Jordan asking Blake to be in her corner. And Blake's like, nah. But then she's like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. And then, yeah, like you said, during the match, you see Blake taking out both Jasmine. So at a certain point, JC tells Fallon to get the title. She throws it into the ring. Blake hits Fallon with a headbutt. Ref tries to take the title from JC. Jordan rolls her up, gets two with that. Then Jasmine picks up the title because it's like thrown sort of aside. And then Blake drops her with the forearm and picks up the title. She starts looking at the title, and I'm thinking immediately, I'm like, oh, she's going to hit Jordan with this thing, isn't she? Mm-hmm. So Jordan looks for beast mode, but Fallon distracts the ref. JC escapes. Grace tries to send JC towards the rope, but JC reverses the Irish whip, and Blake hits Jordan in the lower back with the title. JC follows with the rolling encore for the win. I do like JC.
Timing on that was great too.
It was really good. Nothing beats the timing in the tag match though, with Charlotte getting Alexa Bliss out of the way of the spear. That was great. I had to rewind that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like JC's finish too. It's just that fucking forearm smash, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then Blake gets in the ring, hands JC the title, and then walks off. Mm-hmm. And she does like a little heel smile while she does that.
Speaking of Charlotte making the save for Alexa, that match was next. It was the four-way tag match for the tag championships. You had Asuka and Kairi versus Sol Ruka and Zarya against Charlotte and Alexa against Judgment Day. Even during Charlotte and Alexa's entrance, chemistry is off the charts.
Larson, I'm telling you, man. I never assume anybody's listening to this podcast. Well, we got like, how many people listen to this? Like 53, 54? Is that what you calculate? Something like that. Not very many people.
No.
Certainly nobody from WWE.
Absolutely not.
But I know we have said multiple times, Charlotte needs more Ashley. Because every time, including our own personal experience, like 7 years ago, with Charlotte Flair interviewing her, the actual person behind the character is one of the most charming people you'd ever meet. I've seen this on podcasts, on interviews, and for some reason they're insistent on not putting any of that in her actual Charlotte Flair character. Mm-hmm. I will guarantee you in advance of this Alexa thing, just be yourself. Mm-hmm. You guys have enough history here. You guys have chemistry between you two. Let the people see that.
Yeah.
And their entrance was nothing but them trying not to make each other laugh. And it is fucking awesome.
It's great.
And it is so appealing. And it's getting Charlotte over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the chance for Charlotte to get that hot tag were loud. Hell of a crowd for Evolution, too.
Oh, great
Fantastic crowd.
Well, you know why? Maggie was there and Kaufman. They were both there. They sent a picture of themselves, and I was like, oh, my heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyways, this is a really fun match, too. You mentioned the spot where Charlotte pulls Alexa out of the way of a spear from Zarya, so then Zarya accidentally spears Sol Ruka. So then Raquel tags in. She just lays out Charlotte with a clothesline. Roxanne then hits the Pop Rocks on Flair. Raquel powerbombs Bliss out of the ring onto Asuka, Kairi, and Zarya. And then Roxanne takes out Charlotte with a suicide dive. And then Raquel hits Sol Ruka with a Tejana bomb to get the win. Fun match.
Hey, no excuses, by the way, TKO with this Evolution thing, because they ended up selling like 8,500 tickets, something like that. They ended up doing really, really well, like in terms of the whole ticket situation. So let me see what WrestleTix has, if they have like a final thing here.
Sure. I'll move on to Trish versus Tiffany. What?
I wanted to point this out to you. Yeah, so it looks like the final for WrestleTix was on Sunday. Yeah, 8,300. Yeah, they were set up for 80. They eventually set up for 83.51. They sold 8,300. Also, entrances. I love the camera always cutting back to Asuka and Kairi saying, dancing to everybody's song.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
That's great. Trish versus Tiffany was next. This was the shortest match on the card, but they just packed everything into 8.5 minutes and didn't feel like it was overly short, you know?
You're right, man. Trish Stratus kept up that pace. She did a terrific job. For somebody who doesn't wrestle very often, and being, obviously she's been around since the Attitude Era. She's been around for a little while. My gosh, phenomenal shape, and just boy, she did a terrific job, man.
Yeah, she did. I was not expecting Tiffany to hit an end of heartache during this match.
Yeah,
that happened. Finish saw Tiffany's looking for the moonsault after a rolling senton. Trish gets her knees up, hits Stratisfaction. Tiffany kicks out. So then Trish is looking for a moonsault. Tiffany gets her knees up. And then Tiffany hits a chick kick, Alabama slam, and then a moonsault to get the win.
Yeah, I'm looking at the, you mentioned the time. I'm looking at the time in all these matches. They gave the first one 16:30. The JC Jane Jordan Grace one 10 minutes. Judgment Day, the tag match 10 minutes. They all, what's funny, man, you can pack a lot in 10 minutes because everybody took such great advantage of the time they had. They didn't give you any, this one gets 4, this one gets 5.
Yeah.
Like you said, Tiffany and Trish, they got 8.5 here. Jade Naomi 11, the Battle Royal 15. I like when Battle Royals don't overstay their welcome.
Mm-hmm.
And then the main, they gave 26 minutes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Next, we had Naomi versus Jade with Bianca's special guest ref. Had all the weapons here. Kendo sticks, tables, chairs, some other stuff. We mentioned the finish where Jade hits Naomi with the Jaded off the second rope through a table. But there's a lot of other fun stuff here. At one point, the table that is eventually used for Jaded, when Naomi first puts it in the ring, she sets it up upside down and brings the legs out and then tries to gouge Jade's eye with one of the legs of the table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then hits a heat seeker on the apron, hits Jade with a chair, which then sends Jade through a table off the apron through a floor, on the floor, not through the floor. That'd be wild if a chair shot sent someone through the floor. So Naomi puts
2K. That's some 2K shit.
It is. Naomi puts Jade back in the ring, hits an X Factor on the chair, gets a 2 there, and that's when Naomi sets up the table, puts Jade on it, goes up top. Jade gets up, hits Naomi with the chair, and then hits the Jaded off second rope to get the win.
I do also like, and I don't know if this is intentional or not, but half the time Bianca as ref was sort of like, I don't know with my hands. I'm not trained for this. I don't know. There's one part they're both down on the floor, and she just goes down there. Are you okay? It was that awesome bit where Naomi does the basement drop kick against Jade into the announce desk, and like the sparks went flying. That was great effect, great use of the sparks. And Bianca's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you guys okay?"
Yeah, I mean, like, this is a situation where the ref is just there literally to count a pinfall or say someone gave up. Yeah. There's no 10 count to do. There's none of that.
Like, what am I supposed to do here? What am I supposed to do? But I got to be in camera because I'm a main character. Mm-hmm. And it's like, no, Jade clearly is not okay. She just got all these sparks flying out behind her. So I don't know. The thread, and maybe, again, if it's intentional or not, but I always loved that when Bianca was a special guest ref for Io and Rhea, she was like, I don't know how to be a ref. What are you doing? I've never. But hey, as a ref, she looks like $1 million. I'll tell you what, that outfit she was wearing.
Her finger was still taped up too. So
yeah, everybody looked great. Naomi's the caution tape branding for Naomi.
Oh, and like the razor blades.
The razor blades off the charts.
So good.
Boy, it's just, she has really just absolutely nailed it with this heel run.
Yep. Then we had the Battle Royal next. 20 participants. Stephanie Vaquer gets the win. Really creative finish, too, because it was her and Lash Legend were the final two. They end up on the apron, and then the Devil's Kiss move is so over. They use that to get Stephanie the win, because she hits that on Lash on the apron and then dumps her to the floor. I was curious if they were going to set up, if Nikki didn't win this, if they're going to set up something for her for SummerSlam. And I guess it's possible. So the final four was Nia Jax, Nikki Bella, Stephanie, and Lash. Lash eliminates Nikki Bella. Boots her off the apron. And then Lash dumps Nia on the apron, and then her and Vaquer team up on Nia to knock her off, to eliminate her. Stephanie and Lash were the final two. Went to the finish with that. There was a moment early on with Nikki and Chelsea. I was like, that'd be a good matchup.
Yeah, so I want to say it was Fightful, dude. I'm trying to figure it out right now, but yeah, the idea is WWE is still going to be talking to Nikki Bella about doing something with her in the near future. I'm just trying to find out exactly if it was Fightful reporting that, if it was Sean reporting that.
Or if it's Nikki versus Lash, that'd be great too. I mean, since Lash was in the final two, it's obvious they think highly of her.
Well, also Lash is from the area.
That's true.
And so she was getting like a big hometown pop there.
Yeah.
But I hope that's not the only reason. I hope they do have big plans for Lash Legend. I think she's terrific.
I think so too. So then after Stephanie Vaquer wins, Stephanie McMahon comes to the ring to interview her and asks her in Spanish, I think effectively, based on what I could understand, how important was this win for you?
Yeah.
And then Stephanie says, English is not my first language, but wrestling is my first language, and I need to say thank you to every woman who's come before us, because now we can make history. And she says, I promise I will keep working hard, and I promise you will remember my name forever.
Yeah, and the crowd was just eating it up. They love Stephanie. She's just
so good.
She's so genuine, and yet I don't know if I've ever seen anybody who seems so genuine and yet has such natural mystique. She just exudes that mystique, that aura, whatever you want to call it. And it's just,
you can
so
just tell she's a star.
With so many people who try so hard to have that.
Mm-hmm.
She just has it. It's just there. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yep. And then we had our main event, Rhea versus Io. I started feeling bad for Rhea during this match because every time she'd get a little bit of advantage, Io would always have an answer.
Yeah.
They were really pushing that story that literally Io has an answer for everything.
Well,
Rhea throws at her.
They had the match graphic, how Io had beat her at every turn, every single time. And so you're thinking it's like, oh, this is going to be the one time Rhea overcomes finally.
Yeah.
And you have to appreciate, man, that, and we all know Rhea is eventually going to be once again on top, so to speak.
Yeah.
But give her a goddamn story, give her some adversity, and the desperation on her face after the cash in, when she said there's a close up on her, she says, "What just happened?" It was beautiful.
Well, even before that, so there's a spot where there's a ref bump where Io hits the springboard drop kick on Jessica Carr, and I like this. Rather than just keep the match in the ring, we have the visual pin with the riptide. They take it out into the crowd and start fighting, which I don't remember seeing before. Usually it just stays in the ring. We have the visual pin. You know, they have them covered for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 seconds. And they're like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? Rhea just gets so angry about that situation that she starts wrecking Io up into the crowd. She's going to do this spot off a road case, but then Io reverses it, regains the advantage. So by the time that they get back to the ring, Io hits a moonsault right as the ref is coming to. Rhea kicks out.
You know what I love about it too? Every time Io finds a counter, even on the outside when Rhea's in full rage mode, like damn near heel stuff, Io doesn't respond with rage. It's always glee. Mm-hmm. You know, like she's like, oh, I got the better of her. She looks at the crowd. Hey, look what I just did. Yeah. And then she's like, should I go further up on this road case? Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and do it. There's never a reciprocity of anger or frustration. It's just, look what I did again.
It's like, she awesome. Knows, I got Rhea's number. What do I got to stress about?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So after the moonsault, Io's looking for another one, but Rhea rolls to the apron. So then Io pulls Rhea up to her feet. They're trading some blows. Rhea slams Io's head against the ring post, so then Rhea climbs up top. Io then hits her with a Spanish fly off the top rope. That's when Naomi's music hits. She runs to the ring, tells with the ref she's cashing in. She blasts Io in the head with the briefcase, throws Rhea into the ring post, and then hits Io with a split-legged moonsault to get the win.
How about that Spanish fly?
That was nuts.
Didn't expect that to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. So, yeah, I was able to confirm it was Fightful. It was Sean Ross Sapp. In one of his notes here, Evolution Notes, says, it's expected that Trish Stratus will wrestle in WWE again this year. We're told they're also open to Nikki Bella after her creative changed. So, and Nikki had talked, I think, yesterday on Busted Open, or one of the shows. Now I lost that one. About, here it is. Nikki Bella tells Busted Open Radio she would love to have a program with Rhea Ripley. So I feel like heel Nikki would be so incredible with her. Rhea has layers, but I feel like what my character has would bring even more layers out of her, stuff that we don't know yet about Mommy and everything she is. She's someone that I always look at, and not only do I think we can create a lot of magic in the ring, but I think the storytelling could be so different, fresh, and fun. They do have a Crown Jewel in Perth coming up, so you got to figure there's going to be something big for Rhea there. Yeah. Either a title win or a big name like a Nikki Bella to win there in Perth.
Yep. All right, now we got to talk about Saturday night's main event.
Oh, come on. This was fun.
I'll be honest, other than I thought the most enjoyable match was Solo versus Jim Uso. Otherwise, I was not really into the show.
Yeah, you know, man, at this point, seriously, look, we got the great wrestling and the high drama on Saturday with All In. We got on the next day on Evolution, we got high drama and great wrestling. Yeah. Right? So, and I know
you want a little bit of a palate cleanser with Saturday
I'm not going in order here, but I understood what the assignment was for Saturday night's main event for WWE. And I knew this is going to be stupid. And I don't say that in a derogatory manner. I say this is going to be some entertaining ass bullshit. So just take it for what it is. And I'm not saying, oh, just sit there and enjoy the show. It's a show, man.
Sounds like you're saying to me.
It was a show. No, understanding what I'm getting into. I know that if I'm going to go see Ace Ventura 2, When Nature Calls, I'm not going to go into a Martin Scorsese movie. And so as long as it doesn't bore me, I'm willing to check my brain at the door. Because I'm going to get a 58-year-old Goldberg in a match against Gunther. And they went 14 minutes. And I got to see Ernest the Cat Miller.
That was awesome.
And I think Josh Barnett was there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it looked like Josh
Barnett. It was Barnett, wasn't it?
It looked like him, yeah.
Looked like him. Some dude looked like Josh Barnett.
Yeah.
And then you got J.J. Dillinger. And
Doug Dillinger.
Oh, sorry, Doug Dillinger. Yeah, I was...
You're
J.J. Dillon.
J.J. Dillon. Yeah.
I made them I rawgated them.
DDP was there. Yeah, that was all great.
Even the Jelly Roll Logan Paul stuff. I was like, this is fucking dumb as hell, but I was laughing my ass off over it. I'll take a comedy. I'll take a comedy sometimes. And so yeah, I was fine with. I had no problems with Saturday night's main event. And on top of that, we had Naomi versus Jade, which was awesome.
Yeah, they brawled a bit. It was announced that Bianca's would be the special.
Sorry, versus Jade. No, we had the brawl. Yeah.
Yeah, the brawl.
Yeah.
So the first match, which about only half of it actually aired on TV because the other half was commercials. It took like 14 minutes for the first match to start.
Hey, I know. I will say this too, and let me caveat this as well. Part of the reason I think
it was 12 minutes before the first match started.
Part of the reason I think I was totally fine with it is because I watched it Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm.
I turned on the VPN. YouTube. WWE put Saturday Night's Main Event on YouTube.
Oh, all right.
And so for the international markets.
Yeah.
And so I was able to sit here, scrub to the match, scrub through the commercials.
I did too. I watched it on Peacock, and they take a lot of the commercials out for the VOD.
Oh, for the VOD they take because they do that for Netflix. Yeah.
They it was only like an hour and 32 minutes.
Okay. That's
for that. Cool. There's a couple commercials still in there. So yeah, even I fast forward through all the recaps and all that because I know what happens. I watch all the shows.
Yeah.
But like you have this Orton Drew match, which is like what 12 minutes, and 4 to 6. I think about 6 minutes of it happened during commercial breaks. Like how am I supposed to give a star rating for a match which I basically only saw half of? You know what I mean?
Hey, I will probably let me just suggest this. What you did see on television probably is the only shit that mattered, you know? Like
no, I understand that, but at the same time, it's like, as a fan of pro wrestling, I got spoiled with All In. 6 hours, wall to wall, great stuff.
Yeah, man.
And I understand Saturday Night's Main Event is not supposed to be that. It's supposed to be something that's really easily digestible for mainstream audiences. But that's not me. I'm one of the sickos that Tony Khan talks about, you know?
Well, hey, that's awesome, man. That's great. That's great.
So
yeah.
This is just a bit too slick.
It's just
a bit too corporate for my taste.
Yeah, no, I know, man. I know you're counterculture. I get it. You know, you're punk. I get it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Honestly, like when it comes to, look, if this was, how do I put this? Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre as a wrestling match.
No, I know I've seen it dozens of times. I'm not expecting something outside the norm.
Doesn't really do much for me. I don't care.
Get it.
Because here's the thing. I understand, and I know you do too. I'm not saying you're an idiot. Even though you try to write me that way earlier in the ad read. I'm not saying you're an idiot.
No, I just don't mind being the butt of the joke. That's why.
I know. I'm messing with you. That's why I took the hat off. Because I don't mind. I'm supposed to be the butt of the joke here, Larson.
All right, tomorrow I'll redo it, and then you're the butt of the joke.
Perfect. Why do you wear your hats all the time, Steve? Because you're a balding idiot. It's a vehicle for Jelly Roll. That's what this match is. It's a vehicle for Jelly Roll at SummerSlam.
That's fine, and I know a lot of people are cool with that. I don't have an issue with it. I am just apathetic towards the whole Jelly Roll Logan Paul thing. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care about it.
I'm
happy for Jelly Roll. He gets to be in the ring. He gets to probably live out a bit of a dream being in the
I'm not even happy. Hey, I'm not even going to lie. I'm not even happy for the guy. I don't give a shit about him. I don't know the guy. If he's nice, that's great. And I don't think you actually give a shit.
Not really. I don't really give a shit about any of this.
I don't either. But it's my job to sit here and watch it. And if they do some shit that's gonna that makes me laugh, I'm gonna laugh. This guy, this portly rapper or singer, sorry, he's not a rapper, he's a singer. Mixing up with Logan Paul, pushing him. It just makes me, I can't help it. It's like Jay Leno. It just makes me laugh to the idea that like this guy is like pushing this. Like, look, say what you will about Logan Paul, he's a really good athlete. Well, this Jelly Roll should not be pushing anybody around. Because
Logan Paul's tall. He's pretty muscular.
Yeah, he's a muscular dude.
Yeah.
I've seen enough fights, iPhone fights on Reddit, because you watch one and then you get pushed a bunch more.
Yeah.
To know Jelly Roll has no business in any of this.
No.
They call me soft. I'm not soft. Hey.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I just can't help but it's entertaining to me. It's so stupid. It makes me laugh, and it's like, you know what? I didn't get any of that from All In. Maybe I want Jim Carrey coming out of the asshole of a fake rhinoceros, Larson.
All right, that's I guess that's your prerogative.
There you go.
I really don't care about Jim Carrey coming out of a fake rhino's asshole. So anyways.
Yeah, that's on you, by the way. Why wouldn't you? That shit was hilarious, man. Ace Ventura 2 is a great movie. You guys need to check it out.
So, of course, Jelly Roll joins Orton ringside. Logan Paul is in Drew's corner. So at one point, Logan distracts Orton. So Drew hits a Claymore, but then Orton gets his foot on the rope to break up the pin. So Jelly Roll gets in Logan's face. They start shoving, and that's when Logan ends up getting shoved on his rear end. This distracts Drew. He starts yelling at Jelly Roll, if you want to fight, get in the ring. And then Drew gets Orton to his feet, and Orton immediately hits him with an RKO to get the win. So Logan hits the ring and starts hits Orton with his right hand, follows with some ground and pound. Jelly Roll gets in the ring, throws Logan off of Orton. Logan takes a swing. Jelly Roll blocks it and punches Logan, sending him tumbling out of the ring. So then Jelly Roll goes and checks on Orton, and then Drew flies in and just destroys him with the Claymore. So he tells Jelly Roll, if you step in my ring, you become a target. So later on, we get a quick shot backstage. Pierce, Aldis, Logan, and Drew, and they're just all yelling at each other. You can't make out a single word.
Yeah.
It's just a cacophony of yelling.
Yeah.
So then later on, we get an Orton and Jelly Roll interview. Orton's like, oh, it's my bad. I shouldn't have brought you out there. I put you in harm's way. It's a bad call on my part. And Jelly Roll says, no, I'm a grown man. They think I'm soft, but I'm not soft. I want both of them, anytime, anywhere. And Orton's like, I think I can make that work. How about SummerSlam, Kathy? Will be known as, and Jelly Roll says, RK Roll. That's a bridge too far for you, too, isn't it?
No, I love it. I think it's great.
You just double face palm, fool.
Pay no attention to the man you see behind the curtain. It's so, come on, man. RK Roll is great. It's so stupid.
It is
and
stupid.
By the way, apologies to All In. I said we didn't get anything stupid. We did get the Costco guys.
Yeah.
But that guy can roll. That guy can go.
Then we had
RK Roll, Larson. Do they have a shirt yet? Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, you look that up. So then we had they were showing there's legends in the crowd. There's current roster members. They show Jade in the crowd. Naomi runs up behind her and attacks her. So we get this huge brawl, pull-apart brawl. That eventually sees them separated. This brings out Aldis. He says, I was going to tell you about this later, but allow me to introduce you to someone who can maintain order during your match at Evolution. Meet the special guest ref. Bianca's music hits. She walks out to ringside.
Damn, some of these Evolution shirts are kind of cool. They're spotlighting their women's roster here.
Oh,
Lyra, dude, this Lyra shirt's actually fucking cool. I'm gonna send you this really quick. I'll get your response.
Sure.
It's like I'll send it to you. There we go. I know. I get so distracted.
That's all right. Next, we had Solo Sikoa defending the U.S. title against Jimmy Uso.
Jim.
This was a good match. I love that Jimmy did like a whisper in the wind off the top to take out MFTs.
Yeah, that was rad. That was cool. It's funny because this is such a sad stat. They shouldn't even brought it up. That Jimmy's been in the company for 15 years, never had a singles match for a singles title.
Yeah, no. He didn't win this one either.
What do you think of the Lyra shirt that I just
that
sent
is
you?
cool.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that's good.
I'm trying to put it on the pod. It's like a blue teal
Yeah.
with like it looks like a punk zine picture of Lyra with like her face kind of whited out or whatever. And then like with like some real punk zine type font with her name. That's a fucking cool looking shirt right there.
So the finish of this one sees Jimmy has a bit of a altercation with Tala Tonga, super kicks him, follows with a PK. Solo then pulls Jimmy into the ring and rolls him up, and then Tala Tonga sticks his foot on Solo's ass for some extra leverage on that pin, so Solo gets the win. Afterwards, Tala Tonga attacks Jimmy. JC and Tonga Loa join in. Solo hits Jimmy with a spike. This brings out Jacob Fatu. He clears the ring and then takes out Tala Tonga and Solo with the suicide dive.
You know, I will say this about AEW. Whenever somebody comes up with a new catchphrase, a new team name, a new faction, within moments, they got a T-shirt ready to go. I am so disappointed in the WWE that they do not have an RK Roll shirt, Larson.
They're leaving money on the table, aren't they?
I will say this, though. Oh, yeah, my money. The John Cena San Antonio gear, the latest, the title is beautiful because it's got a black strap, but it's got the teal, pink, and orange, like 3 stripes through the middle of it.
Spurs had in the 90s.
It's Spurs, yeah. It's old school Spurs. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
That is the one.
I'm bummed the Spurs don't use that logo anymore because that was cool.
I know. It was beautiful.
So after that, we had Seth against LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the spot that led to Seth's injury, so he hits a super kick, follows with a springboard senton, and then when he gets up from that, he does seem like he takes a beat to kind of shake his leg out, looks for a springboard moonsault. Knight gets out of the way. Seth lands on his feet, and that's when Seth goes, my knee. So he backs up into a corner and slumps in the corner and sits there, starts talking to Heyman, starts talking to the ref. Ringside doctor joins in the conversation. They're there for a good 90 seconds, 2 minutes talking, I assume with backstage too, and then Seth gets to his feet. LA Knight hits him with the BFT to get the win. Another thing regarding the whole work shoot thing about Seth's injury, LA Knight looked concerned leaving the ring.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. When they raised his hand and he brought it back down, he said, fuck. The match did, according to Wikipedia here, the match went 11 minutes, 38 seconds. So it looked like, sadly, they were really close.
Close to the end, yeah.
To the end. Because I don't see that would not have gone on very much longer.
No.
Unless they added a lot of time to Gunther Goldberg, which is possible. That match went 15 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Which is like double what I figured it'd be.
Yeah, same here. So that was the main event. And so we mentioned that Doug Dillinger, DDP, they were sitting behind commentary there for Goldberg. Michael Cole mentions that Goldberg's entering this match just hecka banged up. Bad knee, bad shoulder, and the knee especially would play into the match. So during Goldberg's entrance, his son's there. Doug Dillinger, who is the former head of WCW Security. Ernest the Cat Miller.
I'm the 3-time world karate
Huge
champion.
pop. So then early on, Goldberg's looking for a spear on the floor. Gunther gets out of the way, and then Goldberg goes through the barricade as Saturday Night's main event rolls on. I kept track of the commercial breaks, 10 commercial breaks again for Saturday Night's main event.
Well, there you go.
Guess that's how
that was like the one confidence, the one prediction point that I got right.
So then after that, Gunther's working over Goldberg's knee. At one point, he takes the knee brace off. After Little Nate eats a massive spear.
Yeah, dude. 2 shows in a row, kind of, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Little Nate's out there just
Little
taking
Nate's getting killed out there.
So then Gunther blasts Goldberg in the knee with the knee brace, blasts him in the back of the head with it, and he's pacing around the ringside area, gloating to Goldberg's son, talks some shit, pushes him, and so Goldberg's son jumps the barricade, going after Gunther, but Gunther holds him back. So then Gunther gets back in the ring. Goldberg hits him with the spear, more or less hits him with the jackhammer. That was close to not being a jackhammer.
Oh, that was a jack. Come on, give credit where it's due. This was much more of a jackhammer that he's done recently.
He almost didn't get him all the way over. So anyways, Goldberg sells knee, so he's slow to make the cover. New ref runs in. Goldberg covers. Gunther kicks out. Mm-hmm. So then Gunther locks in a sleeper. Goldberg tries to fight out of it, but he can't. Passes out. Gunther wins.
Yeah, I thought all in all, man, I thought it was as good a match as you're going to get. I think it was probably Goldberg's.
They
don't even
pulled
know.
out basically every trick to make it captivating. As captivating as
They did. Yeah, they did. They did. They pulled out every trick they could to elongate the match as well, to draw it out. I mean, say what you will about Goldberg at 58 years old. He looks phenomenal still. Like, the guy obviously
he's in
still
good shape.
has.
I hope I'm not good shape at 58.
And you said this before, dude. Say what you will about the guy, and he has said some stupid stuff in the past. But the way he captivated audiences back in the 90s, his run in WWE in the aughts, even though it didn't end up all that terrific. I think he showed up in 03 and he was out by 04. To booze, to a chorus of booze at WrestleMania in 2004.
20, yeah.
But then, his return with Brock stuff, people really enjoyed that. Obviously, there were some low points. Obviously, the match in Saudi Arabia was pretty horrific. But the guy is going out on his own terms and in wrestling, entertaining us, going out there across. I looked this up on Cage Match. From what I can tell, I think he's had around 380 legitimate matches in his career. He was able to go out on his own terms and in the proper way, passing out to Gunther. So good for him. I think it was great for that crowd. He gave a speech, like a 15-second retirement speech, at least on television. It was 15 seconds. They ended up posting the whole thing. So yeah, good for Goldberg.
Good for Goldberg.
Is it a match that I gave a shit about? No, but good for Goldberg.
Yeah, good for Goldberg. And that was Saturday night's main event.
Saturday night's main event, yeah. And that's going to do it for this episode of Steve and Larson's Pro Wrestling Podcast. We'll be back tomorrow for our Monday Night Raw review. It'll be interesting to see Phil run this gauntlet. Let me ask you something. How many people do you think? See, because you got CM Punk tonight. How many people do you think he's going to beat in the gauntlet?
At most 2.
All right, there you go.
Maybe he'll come in third from last. It'll be him maybe against Braun, the last 2, because maybe at one point it'll be LA Knight versus Braun. Braun said Reed cost LA Knight that one, so LA Knight comes back to cost Braun his match against Punk.
There you go. And then who's the last guy that he takes on?
No, it would be Braun. Would be
Braun would be the last guy. Okay, there you go. All right.
So sorry, Phil coming last, so maybe he can only eliminate one person. That would have to be it, I guess.
Okay. All right. I like it. So yeah, that's going to do it. We'll be back tomorrow for a Raw review. We'll do questions tomorrow. We're already at like an hour and a half on this show. So we'll do questions tomorrow for the Raw review. Till next time, we'll see you guys around.
Goodbye.